The story goes that we all met on harmony.com.
The band is born.
We started recording right away. We met on the 20th of April.
Desperate lovers.
Got 4 songs together and immediately went into Dead Flat Eagle Studios. That's where we've been shedding, getting ready for our gigs. First one was Barabar.
That was so long ago.
I'd been playing in bands for a while. Decided pretty early on that I wanted to be a rock star. It didn't happen. And then I found ROHAN.
Strange that we opted to jump into a battle, never having played a show. And I think that says something about who we are. We really love what we do, jumping in, going for it.
And we couldn't stop there. So we kept booking shows.
We stay playing, a couple shows a month. We stay writing. Whenever we have a song, we demo it out. It's what we care about as a band. The songs and sort of finding that synergy in the sound. We're on a mission to find it. Everybody in the band is a beast. Bringing a certain energy to the table that only they can do. I think we respect each other a lot on that level of bringing a unique thing to the table and complementing one another. This is the band we've been waiting for, looking for, hoping to be a part of.
The Zoo was a cool gig.
It's one of the better venues in Brisbane. Great stage, great sound.
We had to have a session drummer come in
Tim Kerr.
and play for us because Foggers was on his honeymoon. Selfish man.
So we were a bit nervous, but he nailed the song.
Very professional.
He knew what he was doing. We had fun that night. Great crowd. So yeah.
It was definitely one of those moments at the Zoo. Did the gig, no reason not to play. It's become one of our things.
As a band principle, we just, we play shows, and when they're on the books, we show up. So
Always go through with it, no matter what.
everybody stays motivated to participate.
Now that we've done gigs with missing members and stuff like that, every time we play together, it's a privilege.
I set a tone for the band that we're going to be really stand up. This is what we're here to do, is to rock. Because our next gig was a acoustic gig, and I ended up playing the floor tom while singing. A little story stuck, that venue, Stone's Corner, and set a vibe, and it comes up, kind of made an impression, I suppose.
Yeah, we started out with the idea in mind that we would be a stoner rock band. Then being asked to do acoustic gigs was challenging. But we did it, we nailed it. That sounds good.
The acoustic gig, the first Stone's Corner gig. Another missing Foggers. Gilly here making up an awesome backdrop for us. Apparently they were getting very high off spray paint. Put it up behind us as we played, which is pretty cool. No other bands had that.
She did an amazing job, just freehand. We used it for our second battle.
Barabar semi-finals.
Good stage experience and gave us a sense of professionalism, how to be punctual, how to put on a good show. We learned a lot by playing those competitions.
That was a pretty good show. Kicked ass the whole way, presented really well.
We didn't end up making it through to the finals, but apparently they'd already chosen their winner.
We definitely let people know that we're here and we're here to stay. It was pretty ambitious to jump into something like that right out the gate, and it felt good going for it.
Prize money would have been great, but we were just happy to play. It was never really about the competition. Getting the chance to get on stage and play and do what we do, payment enough.
But it's also inspiring to see some other bands as well from the Brisbane and Gold Coast area. Makes you want to play more and write better songs. So it was good.
We realized after we started doing that battle that, 5 or 6 songs wasn't going to cut it. So during our first 3 or 4 months as a band, we really made it a priority to get our set list up to about an hour length. and
Continued writing, record them, demo them, and this was a really good way to learn the song, but then also get a sense of how it sounded, how it all fit together.
trying to put our best foot forward, keeping the songs concise, being clear about what we're saying in the songs, making sure that it's in our comfort zone, represents us well as individuals and as a group.
Writing hasn't been all that difficult, with all of us really contributing to that process of writing the music. It's very collaborative. There isn't a sense of one person kind of pushing their agenda of what the music should sound like. We all bring something different to that process, and the result is Rohan writing, recording, and doing shows. The house party was great.
Very odd
This
gig.
place called The Bunker.
Nobody had really ever heard of the venue.
We had no idea what to expect.
Place is an absolute mess and just hilarious, actually, now that I think about it.
Had we known what we were in for, we may not have done it.
While we were there, they managed to pull out the window behind us and were building very dodgy, unstable deck out the back.
We played, as we always do, as though we're playing to thousands of people who want to hear it. But in reality, we were under someone's house.
But you know, the guy running the place, he had a good attitude, and that's cool.
They had a smoke machine.
Every band needs to kind of go through that experience and feel going into the unknown and putting on a show.
And hell, we got to play, you know, what it's all about, even if it was only to 4 people.
I think it ended up becoming more of a photo shoot in the end.
Which at that point in the band was important to give some visual representation of the band. And they came out great, I think. We had fun that day.
Nail and foot aside.
Why do you chase me? Why do you chase me? Why do you chase me?
All these steps just kind of help us as a band find where we come together and what we will need to work on. You know, showing up at these places, putting ourselves out there like that is a scary thought, and having to lean on each other in a way where we don't have a choice but to pull through. I think that's what you learn when you do those early gigs.
The actual lighting for that photos is coming out of the toilet.
Why do you chase me? Why do you chase me?
This was a cool experience playing for a local radio station. It was definitely good fun just to be able to play live on air, you know, broadcasting to who knows how many people you can't see that aren't in front of you, you know, you're just playing into the airwaves.
Getting a response from 4ZZZ, sorry, was a big win for us. We really respect that station.
It's the support of these community radio stations that can really give a band that opportunity that they initially
Owen's
need.
a really cool dude.
He's a great
He's
dude.
really taken to playing our music and helping us build our fan base, which is remarkable, and we really appreciate that. You know, something that's on our minds when we go do these shows is we're looking for people to stand next to us, help us build out.
To go on to bigger and better things.
And we did this Beetle Bar gig.
Great sounding venue.
It was a fundraiser for a youth service.
Good cause.
We had our merch for the first time, and we had some EPs to sell. We were, you know, selling tickets at the door. I think maybe 5 people walked in, but the t-shirts looked good, you know, priorities.
Mega Machine location scouting. This is probably the funnest part of a film shoot.
Maybe I should just say no comment.
Mega Machine is slated to be our first music video that we release.
It'll be good once it's done. It was a long journey. It was good to be out on Foggers' ranch.
Middle of the woods,
It
and
was quite an experience.
It's a really nice place out there.
working with this company called Shots for Bands, doing a shoot one weekend,
We're still having fun at this point.
coming back a second weekend and doing another shoot.
First time I've ever had makeup on my face, that's for sure.
So it was a good environment. I guess the process was a bit unclear.
Me and Vinny just, every time we looked at each other, we couldn't stop laughing. It was hilarious, actually. The moustaches kept falling off our faces. faces because we were laughing so hard.
And we definitely figured out more about who we are and how we want to do things and what our approach to creating content is going to be like.
It was a good learning experience for us all. It was long. It was really long. It was cold, really cold, and it was really hot.
A lot of time out in the sun.
Man, it was hot out there.
A lot of sunburn.
You know, we did some daytime shooting, nighttime shooting. I think the concept is really solid. It's yet hasn't been released yet, so we'll see what it looks like when it's all done. But definitely something for 2014 to look out for is the Mega Machine music video that'll be landing.
We persevered, and again, we maintained a professional attitude for as long as we could, because we're not doing this. We're doing this because we take it seriously, and so we treat it like we would, a job or anything other people take seriously. So we treat it with the respect it deserves, which means you can overcome obstacles, challenges. You can overcome them in the interest of the band, really.
I think we all ended up playing drums that day. It was taking turns, just a lot of waiting on a video shoot, so nice to get a little bit of that tension out, playing the waiting game. We're all so excited, we just want to get the video done.
It was freezing cold out there at night. It was freezing. Trying to play our instruments and look like we're getting into it was very hard when your joints and muscles are all tightening
Man,
up.
it was cold that night.
And then we started a fire. And Foggers nearly lit himself on fire too.
It's hard to believe no one died that night.
Which was great. Believe it. Rock and roll.
Or at least scorched. I think we had to build that fire 3 or 4 times.
We put so much fuel on it, the fire didn't last long. Like that.
A lot of wood. A lot of petrol as well. God, I can't even remember how many times we played that song through. It was quite a few.
Foggers' beanie kept falling down over his eyes.
We know it well now.
You couldn't see what he was doing. Stone's Corner, plugged in.
So we finally got to do an electric show at Stone's Corner. The sound guy there is fantastic. He really does his job well. He listens, he watches, he's good.
We shook the windows. I think they were expecting us to be so loud, but how we like to play.
And then we
Surfer's Paradise.
raved Surfer's Paradise. Not sure how much of a paradise it is.
Stone's Corner has become kind of our hometown venue. We've had a lot of support from the guys over there that put the show together. They've had us back a couple times. I think next year we'll be doing it acoustic. It feels better for the room. The songs translate both ways. We can get heavy like it's Surfers or whatever. For Rick's, we get a little bit heavy, but Stone's Corner, the acoustic vibe seems to fit the space the best. And
It's hard to knock back a show, even if it is in Lismore.
Driving 2 hours down the coast to do a 20-minute set. We got paid $10.
Getting out of Brisbane playing shows has been really fun for us too.
The first restaurant gig that we ever had.
New South Wales is the spot for now. Well, I guess we'll get to Melbourne at some point, but I think next year our focus is going to be New South Wales and Brisbane and making the trip up and down the east coast there.
I think the Prince of Wales has stopped doing shows now.
Made some friends there, that's for sure.
It's a reasonable venue. Your typical suburban watering hole. Hole being the operative word. We've kind of embraced the acoustic sound now. We've found some balance with our songs.
With every show, we just get a little bit closer to finding our sound, figuring out what it is that we want to convey, little adjustments here and there.
I think Gap was a pretty good venue. We didn't expect to be playing with the bands that we'll be playing with, some hardcore bands, and they really appreciated what we did, which was great.
We're starting to get to the details, how to get from one song to another, the in-between, and the dynamics are really becoming a priority. And we're adding a light show.
And just the visuals of our live gigs, we're just going to try and improve it every time.
Did the show in Nunda that we went on at 11.
This is the road trip.
And then had to drive to Sydney.
The big smoke.
Immediately after that show. 4 men in a van.
We smelt each other for 4 days, 3 days maybe. Very close and personal.
So we at least know each other now, that's for sure. We know each other in a way that we probably didn't before we made that trip to Sydney, which can only help the band and the people in it to grow and progress.
It was really nice to close out the year, the show in Sydney, road trip as a band, I feel like we worked hard to spread our word and get it past Brisbane. And this was a really nice way to kind of wrap things up for 2013. There's a lot of cool stuff coming. 2014 will be great.
Thank you.